This conference
Uh,
will now be recorded.
and now I am focusing on SAP S4 HANA logistics.
Okay.
So yeah,
So you are based out India, right?
right.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Kapil. Uh, Ashish, hello, Ashish. I cannot hear Ashish. Rajastri, Susmita, JK. Can anyone please speak?
Hello, Ashish, can you hear me?
Yes.
Ashish?
Yes, I can hear. I
Okay,
can hear, but I don't know about the others, guys. I can hear, but I don't know about the
wait.
Ashish, JK, uh, Susmit
This
from the
conference will
training.
now be recorded.
What is your expectation from the S4 HANA from the training? Okay, you are here because you have some expectation, right?
You are asking to anyone, or you are asking to all?
Anyone. Like I'm asking to all, right? Not for the
Okay,
for the particularly to Kapil or Ashish or Sushmit or
okay.
Rajasri.
Yeah, basically our expectation is to know more about SAP S4 HANA, because
Hmm.
actually I am working in SAP ECC 6.0 EHP8. So
Hmm.
I don't know about the Delta part of SAP S4 HANA, and nowadays I am more focusing on S4 Logistic HANA, because in future days it would be on high demand, and it is better for me to upgrade myself, and I can upgrade myself
Okay.
by SAP S4 HANA Logistics. So that is my perspective.
Okay, that's great. Okay. What's about other like Rajarsi also joined, right? Rajarsi, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello. Okay. So, Ashish and Kapil, are you also looking for the certifications from this course or
Yes, sir.
just practical knowledge?
Yeah, yeah.
Right now
Certification
I am
also, sir.
focusing. I am focusing on practical knowledge. Right now I am focusing on only on practical knowledge.
Okay. And because I need to understand here, because if you are looking for the certification point of view, training is required more concentration on the subject, okay, the documents. But if
Hmm.
you're looking for the practical stuffs, okay, that is a very uh, described contents which I'm going to share.
Yeah, right now I am
So
focusing on practical part.
I don't know you all are certified or not, but if you're going for the certification in for any of the core modules, it's required the different kinds of training structures, and if you go for the practical steps, it's required a different kind of course structures.
Yeah, both are different.
Yeah, both are different. So here
Uh,
I will more focus on the training contents. If you want to
okay,
go for the certification, then I will
okay,
suggest what modules that you are going to choose, how much percentage
okay,
you'll be getting from your core modules, and how much percentage you'll be getting from the S4 HANA content, and then what
okay,
books are not books, that is the PDF file. What is the
okay,
name of the PDF file that you are going to use to clear the certifications?
okay. So you will
That I
provide
will
that
suggest.
content as well.
Content, I cannot provide all the contents. Whatever I will be having, that I can give it to you. Okay, but not
Okay.
because the certification is only possible through the learning hubs at this moment. So if you have
Okay.
decided to go for the certification for S4 HANA sales or procurement, in that
Hmm.
situation, first you have to get the access of learning hubs. You have to pay the certain amounts for the subscriptions, and
Okay.
then SAP will be providing the learning hub for 1 year,
Okay.
and then you'll be getting the 6 vouchers.
Okay.
And out of 6 vouchers, 2 vouchers is applicable for one. You can go for the 2 attempts for one course. For example, if you go
Okay.
for the S4 HANA sales, you can apply for the 2 attempts.
Okay.
Your 2 vouchers. If you're going
Okay.
to, if you have cleared in one attempt, still you have the 5 vouchers. Okay,
Okay.
and you can apply for another certification also. So that is a
Okay.
voucher
Okay.
based certification at this moment, and that is that valid for the 1 year only.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the way to go for the certifications. Hope it's clear, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's clear.
Okay. Regarding the course content, what I'm going to share, okay, in our regular session, okay, this is my course content, okay, which covering all the relevant topics. So we'll talk about here the introduction to HANA and roadmap. Okay, that is very much important to understand when S4 HANA is started. What is HANA? What is suit on HANA? What is S4 HANA? Okay, what is the future plan in S4 HANA? What SAP has done in the HANA? Why it is more efficient compared to our ECC? So that we are going to provide all the detailed information within this session. Okay. Then we are going to cover these two parts, OLAP and OLTP concepts. So, what is the what is the concept of the OLAP and OLTP, and why the OLAP and OLTP is more efficient and more useful in S4HANA? Why it was working separately in ECC? What were the changes? We'll talk about in details about the OLAP and OLTP. They will talk about the cloud strategy versus S4HANA on-premise. We will also talk about the embedded analytics with HANA Live and BI tools, because SAP is planning to sunset the BI tools and BW tools in future. So what is the new release in S4 HANA? What is the future expectations if BI tools and BW tools will be not there? Even a customer can run the BI and BW tools along with your ECC as a sidecar scenario. So we are also going to understand what is a sidecar scenario if customers are using the ECC as a transactional data, and then they are using the different system as BI, BW tool as for the reporting purpose. So how both systems are going to correlate, how it's going to be integrated, what tools SAP is going to use, what interfaces we are going to use. We are going to talk about this OLAP and OLTP concept. We are also going to talk about the data dictionary, the process changes, guys, here, because here it's very important to understand what kind of table is obsolete in S4 HANA. And then even the table has been obsolete, but you can find the view of those tables in S4 HANA. You can also find some of the tables which contain the data, but actually data is not stored in the database. That is runtime data. But how the runtime data is connected with the CDS view, that we are going to talk about this part. Clear? So till 1 to 3 will more focus on the theoretical part. 20% we are going into the systems where we need to understand how the data dictionary changes has been made, how our CDS view is connected with the core tables. Okay, because some of the tables, most of the tables has been obsolete. Only few tables are available in S4 HANA for the further use. Clear till point number 3, guys? Any questions here?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Then we are going to talk about the SAP Activate. Okay, because you know the in SAP Activate methodology is going to be used in S4 HANA. Different methodology that is called the ASAP. But now in S4 HANA, we'll have the Activate methodology where we are going to follow the Agile approach. So along with the S4 HANA Enterprise Management, guys, you can also go for the certification for SAP Activate Management. So that is a kind of additional certification you can apply, which will help you to cascade the implementation project or conversion projects. That is very helpful. Okay, so we'll talk about the different kind of deployment. It may be the it's a cloud deployments, or it may be the hybrid deployments, or maybe the on-premise deployment. We are going to talk about the deployment part under the SAP Activate. This is again required the separate course structure for the SAP Activate here, but we'll talk about the very basic overview of the SAP Activate, not in detail, because it's required a separate course structure. It's the 5 discourse structures of SAP Activate. Clear? The another part here we're going to talk about the data migrations using the migration cockpit, and it's called the HANA migration cockpit. So earlier we have used the LSMW to upload the data, okay, and then we used the various approach to load the data from SAP to SAP systems or non SAP to the SAP systems. So we have the IDOCS method, we have the BAPI, we have the recorded methods. So these are the approach we can find in the LSMW, and it's a very well matured tool in S4 HANA. But now SAP has released the new version of SAP HANA Migration Cockpit for the loading, that is called the HANA Migration Cockpit. So SAP is planning to uh, sunset the LSMW, but it will take time, okay, because LSMW using since 15 to 20 years, and then most of the customers and then consultants are very much mature by using these tools. Okay. It will take little time to get matured the HANA Migration Cockpit, but yes, the LSMW is not going to be supported anymore, maybe after 1 or 2 years down the line. So that is the one part here, is the practical part. Migration cockpit. Here we are going to talk about the template. We are going to talk about the enhancement. If you're going to add any new custom fields in the any of the data structures, how while we are going to upload the data. Okay, so we're going to talk about the SAP activity here.
Ravi, iDocs will be continue in S4 HANA
Then
as
we
well,
are going to
or
talk about these are the availability 1, 2, 4. This is the common activity tools. Maybe the MM finance. Everyone, yes, iDocs will be continuing in S4 HANA as well. Hello, I'm audible.
yeah, I can hear. But some disturbance is coming.
Yes, sir.
Sometime your voice is breaking.
Yes, sir. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
I think
Am I,
Ravi,
am I audible?
Yes,
now
sir.
now we
No.
can hear you.
Hello. Hello, guys. Am I audible?
No,
Ravi, your
sir.
voice is not clear.
Ravi, this
Yeah, Ravi, your voice is not clear. Your voice is breaking.
duty. Okay. Now it's okay. Hello.
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 Yes, sir. Now continue, sir. No, sir. No, not voice is coming. Hello.
Guys, just hold for
Hello,
2 minutes
Ravi.
because I'm just getting some network disturbance in my Wi-Fi.
Yes, Ravi.
Just hold for
We
two
are
minutes, okay?
unable to hear you.
So, hello, guys. Now, I'm audible or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
यार. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Now it's okay, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, as I were talking about the iDocs, right? So, processing the iDocs is remains same. There is no changes in the iDocs processing. Okay. So there is changes here. We are going to talk about like this first three part. I was talking about the common activity. Okay, across all the modules. This point number 3 is also a common activity across all the modules. Point number 4 is also a common activity across all the modules. The master data part, the simplification of the master is also a common activity across all the modules. So here there is changes. Like earlier we have used the if in our ECC we have a two approach to create the master data. Either we can follow the approach of the BP, or you can go ahead with the customer. Both the approach are available in ECC. BP is not the new function. That is very much old functionality that has been used earlier in EWM as well as in the uh, CRM system. But here in S4 HANA, we'll have only one approach is called BP. There is no customer, there is no vendor. Our BP will be sitting on top, and then customer or vendor or contact person or employee is going to be play as a role with the BP. Okay, so BP will be the based on the roles. Role can be a customer, can be a vendor, can be a contact person, can be a sales employee, can be a credit master. So the BP is depend on the roles. One BP uh, can be connected with the many roles here. So there is no separate customer, there is no separate vendors. So that differences we are going to talk about. We also see how we are going to configure the BP master data, how we are going to create the BP, how the role are assigned to the BP, and we are also going to talk about where is the enhancement point. If you want to do the enhancement, okay, in the BP or in the customer, where will be the enhancement point? How we are going to control the BP by using the field status. Okay, and then another point we are also going to talk about, because in the conversion project, while we are going to do the conversion from ECC to S4HANA, it is required a very huge effort to convert your existing customer and vendor into the VP or maybe the contact person, whatever. So your 30% of your total projects will take time to convert your existing vendor or customer into the BP. It depends on the volume. So that we are going to talk about here. We are not going to see the practical step of the conversion because I need to have the ECC okay first, and then we'll convert our is all the existing customer into the BP, and then we'll again do the DMO in some activity, and then we'll start the post conversion activity. So, but I will show you the step-by-step process how we are going to do the conversion. But regarding the greenfield, I will show the entire configuration of the BP, customer and vendor, and then also the extension of the BP and customer vendor for any fields. So it's the very important point. This is the BP and the Metal Master. Also, we are going to talk because there's a lot of changes in the Metal Master views and fields. So we're going to talk about the Metal Master. There is no changes in the BOM. Okay, so it's as it is ECC. As I said, we're going to talk about the customer vendor integration, how our CVI is integrated to the BP, and then we'll talk about the conversion of the customer and vendor into the BP here. So this required very good, very much like around 8 to 9 hours to complete this activity, including all this topic. Any questions, guys, here?
Ravi, I heard this term many times, greenfield for
Mhm,
SAP S4 HANA. So, what is this
mhm.
greenfield?
Greenfield is a kind of new implementations. It's not in S4 HANA anywhere. You are also working in ECC, for example, there is X customer, right? And then X customers
Okay,
are using the different ERP. Maybe they are using the JD Edwards, okay, or BAN,
okay,
or
okay,
maybe Oracle or PeopleSoft, and they want to
okay.
move into the SAP. So this is called a greenfield, where SAP
Mm,
is not there, and you are the person who is going to implement the SAP project from the scratch. So that is called a
mm,
greenfield.
okay, okay.
Okay. So it's not
Yeah,
in added in S4 HANA. That is a very old terminology. In
yeah.
ECC also we have used. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, any further questions, guys, here in the master data? Okay. Then here we're going to talk about the Fury. That is also very much important, and it's also a common understanding across all the modules. Like it may be from the procurement side, or maybe from the sales, or maybe from the finance or manufacturing side. Everyone should understand here what is Fury application, how we are going to uh, assign the various tiles on the launchpad. It's like similar to our mobiles. If you're opening the mobiles with your user ID and password, okay, what you can see, we can see the numbers of tiles in your mobile, right? Hello? Or
Yeah, Ravi,
applications. Yeah,
we are hearing.
applications, right? So tiles are applications. So whenever I'm going to click one of the application or one of the tiles, you get to know the activity by using those applications. For example, if you want to book any mobiles, okay, through the Amazon, so you have to click on the Amazon applications. We'll go to the various catalog. Means product is a kind of catalog. We'll choose the products. We'll also apply some offers. Then we are going to place the orders. Okay, and the system here is going to be considered as a new customers, and they will be creating you as a customer, and it's going to backend data means your SAP data. The same approach here also we are going to follow. The Fury application, that is a kind of tiles which is going to perform the several activities like transactions. So for example, while you're going to create the sales order or maybe the purchase equations or purchase order, we'll have to run some transactions. In the same manner also, we are going to use the tiles to create the sales order or to create the purchase equation or to create the purchase order or to do the Migo and Marrow. But the difference here is look and feels are is amazing in Fury applications compared to our ECC. The second advantage here, you can run the Fiori application via mobiles, via laptop or desktop. No need to go into the office. Either you are you are in traveling, or you are in the flight, or you are on the vacations. You can take your decisions and place the confirm or confirm any time up any point of time the order. The third benefits here, it's very much simplified compared to our transactions. In the transaction, we have to pass a lot of inputs and we get the output. But here we can put very less input and you can perform the several activity by using the one applications. And the another points benefit of this is, if you are guys, if you are not speaking, can you please go on mute? Yeah, thank you. So the another point here, guys, if like uh, uh, we have a numbers of tiles. So earlier we have the user based assignment, so you have to create the matrix, different kind of matrix, and we'll give it to the security team and they are going to assign those matrix with the rules, and rules is assigned to the user ID. Here the approach will be also remain same, but here whatever the applications or rules are assigned, the business user only can see the rules. They can create their own theme on the launchpad. It's a browser based, so they can create their own themes. They can create their own variant on the launchpad. So unnecessary transaction, unnecessary application cannot be visible on the launchpad. Okay, it's similar to mobile. Like whatever that launch application that you have installed, only we can see the application on your mobile. In the same manner here also, whatever the tiles are assigned, that tiles only you can see on the launchpad. So that is the very much simplified, and without Fiori we cannot talk about this for HANA. So if you're not going to explain the Fiori application, the advantage of the Fiori application to your customers, it means that is a wastage of money of the customer. So without Fiori we cannot think about the S4 HANA. If you want to see the benefit of the S4 HANA, we'll definitely talk about the Fiori applications, because the Fiori applications is not just including the transaction, it's also including the analytical reports. It's also we are also going to talk about the embedded analytics. We are also going to talk about the fact sheets. So these are the terminology we are going to talk about in the Fiori applications. And we are going to run the important point. We are going to run the process by using the Fiori application, not the transactions. Okay, so we are going to pick up 5 to 10 applications from the sales, 5 to 10 applications from the procurement, and then 5 to 10 applications from the analytics. And we'll talk about here on the Fiori part. Clear, guys? Or any questions here on the 6th point? Okay. If there's no questions here in the basic function in S4 HANA, guys, we are going to talk about the the delta changes. This is the module specific.
Uh, Ravi, I have one query about Fiori apps. So
Yes.
you will going through the only it would be on detailed level, or how it would be going in our training.
No, we are not. We are not going to talk about the coding.
Okay.
We'll talk about the functional role here. Okay. So
Okay.
what role we are going to perform?
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Because coding is not our job. The coding is done by the Fury UI5 consultant. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
CDS view and OLAP activity is done by the your ABAP team. The activation of the Fiori browser is done by the basis teams. And then understanding of the Fiori application, assignment of the tools, assignment of the business group, assignment of the catalog is done by us.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll talk about our part.
Okay.
Then here we are going to talk about the module wise specific delta part. So here we are going to talk about the advanced ATP and BOP configuration. That is not a free of cost within the S4 HANA. Customer has to pay the additional amount to get the subscription of the advanced ATP and backorder processing. So that is the advanced ATP, means ATP will be there, but on top of customer has to buy the advanced ATP that is going to replace the GATP. So currently it's holding some of the functionality of the GATP, but not the entire functionality. But 2-3 years down the lines, GATP is going to be obsolete, and then advanced ATP is going to play a role of the GATP in future. So that is the future planning of SAP. Then settlement is the replacement of the rebate. So rebate is no more in S4 HANA. So earlier in SSC we were talking about the rebate processing, but rebate is going to be obsolete. There is no conversion also of the rebate. If any of the customer has used the rebate uh, uh, process in their organizations, customer has to complete all the agreement before going for the migrations. And then in the S4 HANA, whenever the agreement will be created, that will be the settlement agreement. That is called the condition contract agreements. Okay, so there is no rebate agreement in S4 HANA. So we're going to talk about settlement management. Just is not just holding the rebate process. It's also talking about the compensation management, collection management, a rebate for the procurement, rebate for the sales. Okay, so a lot of functionality has been used in settlement management. So here we're going to talk about the rebate part. Then we are also going to talk about the credit management. So credit management, FSCM is not the new terminology. That is also a very old functionality, but very less customer has used that FSCM credit management. Most of the customer has used the traditional credit management. So this is also a kind of delta, okay, because traditional credit management is not supported in S4 HANA. So uh, here who is going to play what kind of role? So here finance is going to play a major role. 70% of the total activity is done by finance, 30% is done by the sales, logistics teams. Okay, earlier what happened in the traditional credit management, 70% of the work, 80% of the work is done by the logistics team, and 20% work done by the finance team. So now it has been reversed. So here also there is a two part. It's a very basic FSM credit management and advanced FSM credit management. So advanced FSM credit management is not a free of cost that customer has to pay the additional charges to get the advanced FSM credit management. So this is also a delta part, but it's a part of finance. Settlement is a part of our sales and procurement. Advanced ATP is part of our every modules where we are going to talk about the ATP. Output management is a kind of it's not the replacement, that is the customer choice, and it's a free of cost within the S4 HANA. So either customers has to use the NAS based condition technique, or customer can also adopt the BRF plus. So it's a customer choice. There is some limitation in the BRF plus. So if customer is going to accept those limitation with the BRF plus, they are welcome. Else will suggest go for the NAS based condition technique. So these are the 4 points is mostly the practical part. Okay, so it's required the a lot of configurations, and this is a practical activity. They will going to talk about the material ledger is also a common activity for the CO part. Okay, costing, activity based costing. Earlier it was not mandatory in ECC, okay, but now in S4 HANA material ledger is mandatory. Without material ledger we cannot do any kinds of posting. It may be the goods issue or goods receipts. So we'll have to activate the material ledger, and we'll also have to activate your plant for the productions. So unless material ledger configuration is not done, activation is not done, guys, you cannot do any kinds of posting for the material. So this is very much important here. And then finally, we are going to talk about the MRP lab, that is part of the production planning. So here now there's a lot of changes in the MRP lab. Earlier we have used the traditional MRP. You have to run the MD01, MD02, MD04. But now here there is a live data we are going to talk about, how the live data is going to be integrated with our cross modules. So we'll talk about this MRP live. Any questions here, guys? This the delta part. So in order to complete this delta part, it required around 15 to 18 hours to complete this part.
If customer is not going with the advanced ATP, so they can use the existing ATP.
Yeah, the existing ATP that still there. There is no changes in the existing ATP. Advanced ATP is on top of that is going to
Okay.
use as a GATP concept. So, but it's not the fully loaded with the GATP functionality, but partial functionality is available in the advanced ATP of GATP
Okay. Okay.
because APO is going
And
to be obsolete and GATP is going to work with APO only.
okay. And one more thing, all
Hmm.
these functionality are available in on premises or those are in on cloud.
You can find the all the functionalities on cloud also, but with very limited features.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want to do any kinds of modification which might impact to the systems, is not going to be supported because you
Mm-hmm.
can just consider there is a 2 BHK room. One room is given to someone else, room is given to someone else, and then hall is given
Uh-huh.
to someone else. So it's a kind of
Uh-huh.
a storage system that is a one server that is distributed across a lot of vendors. So you'll be getting the advanced functionality, but the in order to do the enhancement, then system is not going to be supported. Okay, you cannot do the enhancement, so that is not a free systems.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And one more thing, Ravi, if a
Hmm.
customer is going with the cloud, then
Hmm.
the internal customer team, SAP team,
Hmm.
can configure on cloud system or
No, the cloud is basically hosted by someone else, right? Maybe that is hosted by Amazon, or maybe that is hosted by the Siemens, or maybe hosted by the Atos, right? So
uh,
cloud services provided by someone else. That is service provider. Got it?
uh, yeah, yeah,
But in the cloud, what we are going to use? We are going to use the SAP, right?
right.
So in SAP, basically on the clouds, we will be getting lot of standard configuration which is already built.
Okay.
Okay, that is the country specific model is already prepared by the SAP. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not required to go and do the configuration changes. It's required to do little configuration because you have to change the enterprise structures. Okay, because enterprise structure we are not going to use as SAP has provided,
Mm.
but lot of ready-made functionality you will be getting in the cloud. So
Okay.
compared to our on-premise, you'll be having the very less role to perform on cloud version.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the
Mm.
differences. On-premise, you will have to perform a lot of activities from the scratch, but on cloud, you will have to perform very less activity because most of the functionality is already configured by the SAP.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Then finally, we are going to talk about the some other part which has missed out: data configuration, sales, procurement, and manufacturing. Okay. So this is our contents we are going to talk about in our regular session, guys. Any questions? Do let me know, guys. System is look like this. There is no changes in the systems. It's similar to our ECC. Okay. So if you log in into the GUI, that is look like this. If you go to here systems, if you want to see the status, here you can find the version details. So here you can see this is my 1809 release. Okay. And then here you can find the SAP HANA on-premise. Okay. So here you'll be getting all the details, what server we are using, what is the version. Okay, it's talking about SAP S4 HANA on premise, and then we go to the here this part. Here we'll be talking about the S4 core. So this is very much important. Here that is a component should be the S4 core, and these are the some other components that is used for the basis MDG and some other modules also. Clear?
Yeah, and you will provide the access of the system as well.
That Nikita will be take care. Nikita will be providing all every the access and everything with the latest version.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I can provide, I can provide the documents, I can provide the trainings. Okay, whatever the session I'm going to conduct, we'll be getting all the relevant documents along with the configuration and then the details, recorded
And will you
videos,
provide? Okay, yeah, yeah.
recorded videos, and then server access that is taken care by the, and then server access and other activity, admin activity that is taken care by the Nikita and team.
Okay.
Okay. So guys, I'm done because as I said, I will be closing the session around 9:25. Okay. So because I have a call, okay, with my client at 9:30,
Mm-hmm.
so I will have to close. So if you have any questions, just do let me know. Anyone? Mohan, I think Mohan has joined later on. Mohan. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So Nikita, hello, Nikita, are you there? Hello, Nikita. Hello, Nikita, are you there? Okay, guys. So I'm just closing the source session. If you have any queries, anything you want to discuss personally with me, just connect with Nikita. Nikita can connect to me. Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
Ravi.
Ravi.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Bye. Good night.
Bye. Bye. Good night.